Ladies and gentlemen, quite the crowd has gathered here tonight. But we have our finals for the Korea Nationals as well as our third place match. And we've got hot dogs here, we've got drinks, we've got sodas, we've got a lot of events going down here at the studio as well. So if you live nearby, rush down here and get over here. We still got plenty of hot dogs. And the atmosphere is good. We've got a ton of people here. By far the biggest day for this tournament.
Oh, yeah, by far. I mean, even compared to yesterday with the semifinals, so many people have come down here today. You can see it even in the intro video. This place is pretty packed. And even if you don't want to eat a hot dog, we still got a lot of great StarCraft for you.
That's absolutely true. It's going to be a really great day of finals. We've got a stacked Protoss versus Protoss in the finals. We've got Stats versus herO. And a lot of people are really, really anticipating this to be a great Protoss versus Protoss, one of the best we've had in this tournament. We've seen a lot of really great PvPs. This tournament, as many Korean tournaments have been in 2014, is very Protoss dominant. But we still got a Terran in here, too, in TY. He's going to face off against Sora in that third place match. And, of course, that's going to decide the final player to move on to China, as well as about a $935 in USD prize. So about $900 on the line, plus that ticket to China.
Yeah, and these guys, you could tell since the beginning of the tournament, playing their hearts out. They finally made it here. I feel like even though Stats versus herO is a giant game, it matters in the seed and the money, as you did mention. I feel like that third place match, those two guys are going to be clawing their way. They're going to be trying so hard to get to China because, of course, they want to go abroad. They want to experience that huge grand finals in China. It's going to be great.
Yeah. I'm going to keep putting this stuff in USD for you guys. I tweeted about this earlier. First place is $5,600. Second place is $2,800. So $2,800 difference in prize money there. When it comes to the intensity of the matches and what's really on the line more than anything else, I think the third place match definitely wins in that regard. But when it comes to skill and the purest, like most high skill, the highest level match we're going to see today is definitely going to be that finals between the two Protosses. And that's going to be the match to watch if you want to see some super duper high-level Protoss or Protoss, some of the best in the world.
Yeah. Well, guys, what we got on screen for you is what we mentioned a little bit before. We got the events here for the finals. 100 people are going to get a culture gift certificate, I guess is the most literal way to translate it. You can come to Seoul, you can watch a bunch of movies, go to museums, and do that kind of thing. So that's really cool. And, of course, like you mentioned before, we got the hot dogs. They're called pink dogs.
Yeah. I noticed their pink color earlier. Maybe that's their trademark. And then, of course, as I mentioned yesterday, even if you hate Android, you can come down here. There's 2 iPad minis.
You mean Apple?
I'm sorry, even if you hate Apple.
I mean, if you hate Android, I mean, sure, receive a bunch of iPads.
Even if you hate Apple, you can come down here and pick up an iPad mini. Great tablet. A lot of my friends use one. You use one. It's a good device.
Yeah.
And if you want to sell it or give it away or whatever, you might win it. You could also get a T-shirt. So, I mean, T-shirts are cool.
Yeah. It literally says, become the protagonist of WECG there by wearing the T-shirt. So I guess that's possible for you guys.
Yeah. That's, you could become a supporter. This is a great tournament series. And, it's a tournament that has a lot of, feels from WCG. It's got a lot of backing in that as well. This tournament is even though it's a new tournament, in a lot of senses, it's definitely got a lot of history. And it also ties into old WCGs, like last year, for example, the seeding. Sora, one of our top 4 players here, the only player that was seeded out of these from last year.
Yeah. Well, guys, as we did mention before, it's going to be Stats versus herO in the finals, and then TY versus Sora and that crazy 3rd and 4th place match. And this will be a best of 5. No best of 7s here. Just first to 3 wins will take the cake.
Yeah, for both of these matches. So 2 best of 5s. So it's a lot, more intense than a best of 7. You've got a lot less room for error. It's first to 3. So that first momentum match gets things going pretty quickly in a best of 5. So you got to be really, on the spot about making sure you can adapt to your opponent very quickly. You fall down 0-2. It's very difficult to climb back up. Stats, we saw him do it once before, making that comeback, but very, very difficult to do. And especially on a stage like this with this many fans here and so much money on the line. And of course, for the 3rd place match, that ticket to China to win even more money and to represent your nation as one of 3 representatives in the strongest region in the world, that's pretty important. So there's a lot on the line today.
Yep. Well, let's take a look at Stats over here. Let's see how he got to the finals. He was able to make it through the round of 16. He lost to Yowan. He was looking a little bit weak, but then he beat Cure, beat Yonghwa again. He took down Super after going down 2-0 in the round of 8, and then he took out TY pretty surprisingly 3-0 really quickly. He looked so good and well prepared yesterday.
He looked insanely well prepared. Definitely had a better read on TY's style than TY had on him.
Definitely.
It was a team kill, so there's always a lot of weirdness to that. TY also chose a pretty risky siege tank build on map 2, so you know that I think got into his head a little bit when that went horribly wrong for him.
Yeah.
And you know, things went worse from there. Let's take a look at this guy, though. He was able to win 3-1 yesterday over Sora, beating Byung 3-0 as well, so knocking his teammates down left and right. He was also able to beat Sulky and TY pretty easily in the round of 16 to get out of the group in first place. This guy was the favorite for the tournament for a lot of people for good reason. This is his studio man. He performed so well in the next arena. One of our most winning most winning players in general in Pro League. So this guy is on top of the world right now when it comes to playing in this studio, and you better take him seriously. He also, played really well in the Kespa Cup. So just keep all these things in mind.
Yeah, definitely. He's especially known for his PvP as well. He didn't really play that many. You know, he beat Sulky and then TY and then he beat Byung. There's 2 Terrans and a Zerg there. Then he went up against Sora. He showed his really good PvP style. He lost in that one crazy 55-minute game with the Tempest versus Tempest. But this guy is really a PvP powerhouse.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at these bans, Deadwing and Overgrowth. Here I want to play for the later one as far as bans going here, and stats going to avoid that late game scenario. You can also notice that herO picks King Sejong last, so he's really not favoring play on those 2-player maps.
Yeah. Interesting that herO goes for Foxtrot Labs first. You know, it's a pretty decent map, especially after they changed it, so it's just, always cross spawns, but you do have Catalina and Nimbus a little bit bigger, I'd say.
Yeah.
But just in general, a pretty interesting pick. Maybe he's pretty practiced on this one.
And merry-go-round being the last map, neither player really preferring to pick that one early. So it's interesting to me how this one plays out. We'll have to wait and see how their styles really develop in this series, because both these players are really strong in all aspects of PvP. They're not, stylistically aggressive with, Blink Stalkers or 3 Gateway all-ins. They throw them in, they throw Oracle builds in. With these two, you really don't know what they're going to do until you scout them, until we see their tech go down. They're very open, I wouldn't say open-minded, I guess, with their builds.
Yeah.
They really pull from a lot of different styles.
That's definitely a good way to put it, I'd say.
All right, guys, let's go into set number 1, Foxtrot Labs, Stats versus herO.
Up here in the top right, in the red, one of our Protoss players here. He is Stats.
There he is. And down to the bottom left, in blue, his opponent for CJ, it's herO. Now, guys, this, of course, is a lot of money on the line here, a lot of pride. This is a very difficult tournament. This is not just a qualifier. This qualifier could be considered, one of the highest level tournaments we've had here at the very end of this year, looking at the player pool we had and, who they beat to get here as well. There was a qualifier for this qualifier.
Which is just pretty insane when you think about it. This is how much this tournament really matters to these guys, and how much different importance is put onto this tournament, definitely.
10 gate coming out here from herO right at the start.
Very interesting.
Choice. Yeah.
About Foxtrot Labs, I'd say it's the biggest rush distance for a 2-player map out of the pool. I'd say it's pretty close to Sejong, especially with the way you gotta go around on Sejong on the map. But I'd say this one is slightly bigger.
Yeah, I mean, it is technically a 4-player map, but you could call it a 2-player map because of the way the spawns are forced. You're always going to know where your opponent starts, and I'm liking what you're saying here. It's a bit of a longer one. Let's see what herO decides to do with this. It feels like we'll probably see out of herO a rushed Stargate, maybe. But anything goes. Like I said, these 2 players love to pick from a variety of styles.
Yeah, that's the thing. herO showed that build yesterday, and he could do it once again here. But Stats, of course, was watching those games. So he saw that build, and he's like, okay, I got to keep that in mind. herO might throw that in. So herO, he may be throwing it in for the first one. He does have that gateway rallied.
Yeah, that's
pretty
true.
far out, so it could be some kind of rushed out units.
Let's see what he does. He's got his Cyber Core obviously way ahead. Look at how far ahead it is right now. It's nearly 2/3 done versus the Cyber Core of Stats just now being started. He only mined from 1 gas, and he got a second pylon very late in order to do this. So he is rushing out Cybernetics Core Tech really, really fast here. And let's see what he decides to do with it as it completes. We'll find out right away. He rushes the Mothership Core out first, getting that insanely quickly. Meanwhile, Stats over here is hiding something.
Yeah, he's going for something really tricky here. I mean, he's got a ton of gas banked up here. Could be DTs. Based on the positioning, you know, it's not the closest by air.
But
So
it's
it could
very
just be
unlikely to be scouted, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing.
So it really could be anything. A sentry's being made now
Interesting.
for safety back at home.
So it's no kind of rushed tech down there in the bottom right. He's just...
Okay, Twilight Council and Probe stays. It's going to be DTs. Not the fastest way he could have gotten them.
I guess he canceled the sentry. That's
Yeah,
what we're
he
getting
did.
a look at now.
Yeah, he did
I was wondering
cancel.
how he just dropped down the Twilight, and I'm like, what? Oh, okay. So sentry's gone, throws down the Twilight.
Looks like herO's idea with the rushed gate is just to get this Mothership Core out really fast for scouting. He wants to get over there really quickly, get an eye up on what's happening, see if he can find out what sort of tech's going on, so, you know, just harass a little bit, for example. Not rely on probe scouts. The Mothership Core of Stats is way out there, you know, hoping to deny a probe scout. The Stalkers probably go down there and join. There's that Dark Shrine at 452, super fast Dark Shrine. And here comes that Mothership Core. He's going to see the pylons, but he's not going to find any tech.
Yeah.
That may cause him to play a little bit safer. He may alter his build as a result, because right now he's going straight Twilight.
I wonder what he's going to think about this when he comes to the base. He just sees so much gas being mined. And look at this. We got a Dark Shrine for herO as well. So we're going to have a crazy game right off the bat here.
There's that recall at the last second.
He scouts the whole base. He sent a probe over there as well.
Yeah, he
To the
checks
front.
the Nexus timing, everything. But seeing this Nexus is pretty suspicious, right? He's got no tech in his base. He also doesn't have sentries. So where's all the gas going?
Yeah,
It's got to be in something
he
else.
clipped the gases, and he's like, okay, you've mined so much gas. Where's it going?
Yeah. So he knows how much gas is in mine. I'm really glad that you pointed that out because he can actually check that. He knows how long those have been up. So he's got to be feeling like something weird's coming. Maybe he's thinking it's Oracle, but it's DTs, and we're going to have DT versus DT, which gets crazy. Both players are adding robos right now for that extra safety because there is that uncertainty about what tech is being used against them. They're about, you know, about the same time as each other. The Dark Shrine a little bit faster here. For Stats is going to go across this debris. First DT.
There it is. And the Robo is not out yet.
And he actually may decide to, well, he only makes, okay, is he only made one? Yeah. Let's see what he decides to target. Oh, he misclicks on that probe.
Could have delayed that Nexus so much. Regardless, coming in the main.
Uh-oh, does he realize he's looking?
Oh,
and he
one
misses
gets in.
it.
One gets in.
One gets in, and this is huge. The Observer is on the way. A lot of probes being pulled here. And he finally starts that Observer of his own. How many kills are going to come up here? 3 already. 2, meanwhile, for Stats is DT.
Oh, man, the second one gets in as well.
But the Observer is out now. A good trap here. That Citizen's Arrest on that DT. Second DT escapes for now. And it looks like this one got away. Runs down that ramp. 4 kills, or actually, no, 3 kills on that DT. So pretty even trades. However, there's not only a Nexus up here for Stats, but he's getting an Immortal out right now, and he has a much better probe count.
Yeah. If you look at the Nexus here for herO, it's not there. So that's definitely a huge problem. He's trying to go across the map right now and do some damage. He does have an Observer.
Yeah.
Possibly, if he's able to get the army advantage here and just go for a really quick attack, maybe he can punish. You see, he does have 3 gates, so he's got a lot of units already. And this is what Stats has. He used the Nexus cannon before, but he has another one.
He has one more, but this is a ton of units coming out here for herO. That Immortal is so key right now. And remember, sentries basically don't do damage. Good force
look at
fields.
the force field. GG immediately.
That's just, he knows that he can't break through, and Stats taking the game. Now, mind you, a lot of people are insanely heavily favoring herO in this. I've seen a lot of personalities tweeting about this on Twitter. You know, we've seen some journalists, talking about it here today, and the crowd seems to be favoring him as well. But Stats takes that very first critical game.
Yeah, man. We didn't really go into predictions, but I was talking to you right before the game started. I said herO is going to bop this guy. I think it's going to be a pretty fast one, maybe 3-1 or even 3-0, but Stats says no right off the bat.
Yeah. And, I mean, he just, in this game of DT, he played the better DT. I mean, he had it down to a T, hit it. he had the faster, Nexus. Well, he had a Nexus period. He had that Robo up in time.